a freshman. She had a quality start, and so now everybody gives way to Danielle Watson, who makes her second start here of the Joanne Graff Classic, and the transfer from Louisville, who was a closer, then a starter, and is going to profile as a starter throughout the course of this entire season, is ready to get us underway.
Danielle is a phenomenal pitcher. She's going to come out and overpower you with speed and movement. She's going to be touching upper 60s, every now and then hitting 70 as well. She's got a nasty rise ball that's going to have late break out of the zone, going to make you chase, and then she's going to come down with that drop ball, fastball movement, getting the viewpoint of the batter changed as well.
Quickly 0-2 to Mary Gregg Anderson, the right fielder, the transfer from the University of Alabama. Anderson followed up by Hardiman, Kate Sayles, Bailey, Greep, Cooper, Galloway, and at the bottom, Madison Miller, the left fielder. Trip McKay, the head coach for the Owls, has really done a tremendous job right there outside of Atlanta as Mary Gregg Anderson goes down swinging. Speaking of tremendous, a tremendous start for Danielle Watson.
Definitely. Danielle, like I said, is going to come with you with that rise-drop combination right here, and that's what she's going to do. She's going to come in with that spin movement and that speed, throwing that rise screw motion a little bit, moving away from the hitter and up in the zone at the same time.
And that brings up Ty Hardiman. First pitch swinging on the ground to short. And Brooke Blankenship, the freshman, is able to put away her fellow freshman Hardiman. So joining Blankenship in the infield is Cheryl Flaherty and Bethany Keane. Back at first, out in the outfield, Mudge, Janai Kerr, and Kaylee Harding. Michaela Edenfield will now have started every game of the Joanne Graff Classic for Florida State behind the plate. Danielle Watson, as we mentioned, making her second start in the circle this weekend for the Seminoles. And so that brings up Taylor Cates, the leader in home runs and RBI from a season ago for the Owls. And this has popped up. What a first inning this is for Danielle Watson. Took 6 pitches in total to go 1, 2, 3 through the Owls. A familiar face in the circle for Owls fans. Melanie Bennett gets the call for Trip McKay and company in Kalen. She is a gritty competitor. She proved it in the postseason a year ago.
Melanie Bennett has done a great job in her career at Kennesaw State. We caught up with Trip McKay, and he said that what he is looking for from his pitcher is for her not to get caught up in throwing too hard. She does bring the heat, but sometimes she gets a little overwhelmed by that in throwing hard instead of throwing like a pitcher. So we want Melanie to learn how to basically become more of a pitcher, throw more spin, move the ball rather than just throw hard.
And she will be squaring off with a Florida State batting order led off by Janai Kerr. Haley Mudge had been in the leadoff spot. She's back in left field batting second. Leonard Harding, Cheryl Edenfield, Flaherty, Keane, and Blankenship form the lineup for Lonnie Alameda. And speaking of Kaylee Mudge, with more on her, here is Emily Peters.
Yeah, and what a performance from Kaylee Mudge yesterday. When I spoke with Coach Alameda before the game, though, she told me this is not a star that was born in front of the fans' eyes, because she is Mudge 2.0 at this point. You know, she came in a couple years ago, and then they went down to her hometown, and she got a little bit nervous, and then COVID hit. But now we're seeing Mudge 2.0. This is the confidence and maturity she has been working on for a couple years, and it'll be very exciting to see her grow this season.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. Speaking of confidence, it's good confidence builder, being able to retire Janai Kerr to get this game started for Melanie Bennett and the Owls defense. But following Kerr, now Mudge, who hit .333 last season, was named to the Women's College World Series All-Tournament team. Squares off with the veteran. Quickly 0-2 to Mudge, and this is where, as a pitcher, you work ahead, Kalen, you'd like to finish it off.
Right, exactly. And right here, as a pitcher, you're going to want to try to get the batter to swing at your pitch. You don't want to give something too good over the heart of the plate. You want her to get herself out.
Rise ball up above the zone, makes it 1-2. And a good eye from Mudge, laying off the outside pitch, makes it 2-2.
Bennett showing the changeup early. A little surprising. Usually, as a pitcher, you don't want to throw your off speed this early in the game, but I guess they thought that Mudge would chase after it.
Showing a whole lot of everything. She's gone upstairs, downstairs, off speed, giving Florida State a whole lot of looks just within the first couple of batters. Now came inside on Mudge, and that is a real quality plate appearance because Mudge was behind the count 0-2 and earns a walk.
That's frustrating as a pitcher, you know, when you get ahead in the count and then you throw your pitcher's pitches wanting them to chase, and then you're just not able to come back and finish.
And so with Mudge aboard safely, here is Mack Leonard. Senior from Normal, Illinois. We've talked about her batting average and where she left off with the Redbirds at Illinois State. But on top of the batting average, you see the 10 home runs, the 38 RBI. The on-base percentage was north of 500 as well. Kaylin, she led the Redbirds last year, not only in that batting average mark, the 425, but in runs scored with 36. 8 doubles, 2 triples, in home runs with 10. The RBI was tops on the team, and she walked 26 times, which also led the team. Every major offensive statistical category she led the team in, and then she also pitched 100 innings of work and did a good job there too.
It just shows what a great addition that Mack Leonard is to this FSU program, and hopefully she can come out and do some of the same things this year that she's done in the past.
9 complete games as a pitcher, 6 shutouts, 1 save, struck out 80 over 21 appearances, 17 of those were starts. Golfs that one into left field, and there's a hit for Mack Leonard, the first of the game.
Now batting, number 8, Kaylee Harding.
Mack Leonard does a great job of getting the barrel down and away to get that ball in plane so that she can just get it right there in that gap and get a single.
And now multiple runners are aboard for Kaylee Harding. Made a web gem throw to third to get the lead runner earlier today against Loyola Chicago. The sophomore from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Hit .278 last season, went on the All-ACC freshman team, and hits this one to short, and it will get away. Everybody is safe. Hardiman, the young shortstop, could not corral it, and this, Kaylin, was another point of emphasis that Trip McKay told us. He's got a lot of injuries that his team is dealing with. He's got a backup catcher in the middle of the infield, freshmen all over the place, and he said he wants them to loosen up and be more instinctive defensively.
That is hard, you know, when you don't have that depth and you don't have someone who can replace an injured player. You've got to go with what you have, and sometimes it's a backup catcher, and you just have to do the best that you can.
2 freshmen playing up the middle at second and at short. That's Hardiman, one of those at short. She's joined at second by Isabella Galloway. Bases loaded. Sydney Sherrill has been batting second to this point of the season, the first 3 games for Florida State, now moving down to the 5 spot for the Seminoles.
Bennett is going to have to be really careful with the placement of these pitches. With bases loaded, you have Sydney Sherrill up to bat, and that's somebody that you have to already pitch carefully around.
Senior from Moore, Oklahoma. You name the honor, she's pretty much won it, including ACC Defensive Player of the Year the last 2 years plus in 2019. Preseason number 24 on the Softball America Top 100 list. And when you go up and down the order here, 5 out of the top 6 batters in Florida State's order have recorded a home run. Everybody has recorded a hit to this point, 1 through 9.
And a nice miss by Melanie Bennett. I know she's frustrated. She really wanted that pitch right there on the corner. See right there, just barely gets outside the line. Her catcher does her best to try and frame it for her, but he's not going to give it to her.
Couple of juniors, Bennett and Sayles, working together as pitcher and catcher. Nowhere to put Sherrill. Ground ball to Galloway. She'll step on the bag to apply the force at second. That's enough to get the lead runner home, and Florida State is on the board 1-0.
Now batting number 51, Michaela Edenfield.
Mudge scores. Runners now on the corners after the fielder's choice by Sherrill.
One out on the board with Michaela Edenfield up to bat. That's dangerous. Runners on the corners. What's she gonna do here?
Checked her swing on the ball down low. Florida State's coaching staff has talked about her power and the tools that she possesses, but Kaylin, you were particularly impressed with her discipline at the plate yesterday. She earned a number of walks.
I think as a catcher, it really bodes well for you because you're able to see the umpire's strike zone. So you know exactly what he's calling, exactly what he's looking for, and you're able to have those conversations with him while he's behind the plate. So it gives you a little bit of an advantage because you know what he's going to call and what he's not.
So as the freshman from Sneads, Florida continues to learn and grow, we'll see how this plate appearance goes for her. Ball at the knees of Edenfield, a touch below. Bennett looks a little frustrated, and it's going to be important, Kaylin, that she, despite how frustrated she is, still gets to that next pitch and doesn't let it rattle her too much.
Something we talk about consistently is being able to control the controllables. You can't control the umpire zone. You've got to be able to focus on what you can control, which is your attitude, your effort, things like that.
And now the crowd is frustrated on the strike call. Out there on the outside edge.
A little bit. Michaela definitely did not agree with that one. It was a little bit out there on the corner, so he does have to be consistent whether or not he's going to be giving the corners or not.
Popped up to center, and that will end the inning. Florida State, however, jumps on the board 1-0. They load the bases, and on a Sherrill fielder's choice, they lead at home. Everybody loves him. Even though Lizzie Mason's career has come to a close here at Joanne Graff Field in Tallahassee, Florida, you can't keep Carl and Sarah Mason away. Can't keep us away either. Sean Davison, Kaylin Arnold, Emily Peters, our entire crew here on what could be, you never know, it's early, the hashtag road to WCWS. 8 teams will make that trip, and this just the first series of steps on what will be what feels like a million-mile journey. Kennesaw State routinely factors into the postseason equation. Credit also to Trip McKay and the job he has done with the Owls, and he's got his work cut out for him in this, his 4th season. Not that there isn't talent, but they're a bit banged up, and they've got to mitigate that.
That is true. As a coach, like I talked about earlier, you just have to go with what you have, and you have to try to establish that confidence in players who are playing out of position and let them know, hey, it's okay to make these mistakes early. We're going to get you there.
Cheyenne Sayles, the catcher, one of the veterans who's in the lineup. Preseason A-Sun team member a season ago, and then went on to play in 50 games last season, either as the catcher or as their designated player. .231 the batting average, 17 RBI, and she rocketed that one right back up the middle. Cheyenne Sayles with the first hit of the game for the Owls. It only took Danielle Watson 6 total pitches to get through the top of the first. This already a marked improvement for KSU.
That's something that you have to remember as well as a pitcher who does throw hard, is that when the ball makes contact with that bat, it's going to shoot off, and that's exactly what Cheyenne Sayles' ball did. It came off the bat really hard and really quick, and thankfully Danielle was able to get out of the way before she got hit.
And so with a runner on at first, Brania Bailey takes a big cut and pops it up. Bethany Keane, or BK as her teammates call her, calls off her pitcher Danielle Watson and secures out number 1. Transfer from South Florida, taking over the spot vacated by Lizzie Mason after she graduated.
Not an easy spot to fill. Mason had such a presence at first base and in the batter's box.
Reap, almost a carbon copy. Same player, same result.
And that shows the success that Watson's having with her rise ball, just able to go back to it multiple times to get the same result, that easy pop-up down first baseline.
Number 28, Sierra Cooper.
1 ball, 10 strikes, 11 total, just hammering the zone. And so that brings up the player who had the most success for Kennesaw State yesterday against Kat Sandercock, Kiera Cooper, the sophomore from Douglasville, Georgia. Recorded a couple of hits yesterday evening, did Cooper. Last season batted .222 with an RBI. She'll golf that one toward right field, ranging over and juggling it and catching it with the bare hand is Kaylee Harding. A circus-style catch for the Seminoles right fielder. And after the little show, Florida State will maintain their 1-run lead heading to the bottom of the innings. Interesting proceedings early on here in Tallahassee. Welcome back to Tallahassee on the ACC Network Extra. Kennesaw State taking on the 6th-ranked Seminoles in a regional rematch from a season ago. Here at Joanne Graff Field in Tallahassee, Florida. Sean Davison, Kaylin Arnold, Emily Peters, and our entire crew here with you as the reigning national runners-up kickstart their season. Off-speed pitch, Flaherty fouls it off into the dugout area, and that's a great play by Taylor Cates.
Now coming to plate, number 3, Bethany Keane.
Kaylin, it kept drifting and drifting and drifting, and it just stayed in.
It did, and you can see that Kate's kept her eye on it. She stayed with it and was able to make the catch.
So Flaherty is retired. That brings up Bethany Keane. Hard hit ball to Hardiman at short, and at first, it looked like Bailey could not make the pick.
I think they are confirming that it was an out, that she did actually catch the ball.
Coming up to the plate, number 5, Brooke Blankenship.
Okay then. That'll bring up Brooke Blankenship.
Sometimes things like that just happen.
Blankenship with multiple hits in Florida State's earlier game against Loyola Chicago, including a home run over the center field wall. She's a freshman from Hudson, Florida, one of the top recruits to come to college. A long list of high school honors, state championships, player of the year multiple times over. A stellar addition to this Florida State roster. Saws this one off to right. And there to make the play is Mary Gregg Anderson. Great job by Melanie Bennett, going 1, 2, 3 through the 7, 8, 9. The Kennesaw State Owls looking on from their visitors' dugout here at Joanne Graff Field in Tallahassee, Florida. And you had some great defensive plays behind you if you're Melanie Bennett, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered. You're still within touch. It's only a one-run game, and you go 1, 2, 3 after you had that initial bobble in the first.
That's what you want to do as a pitcher. You want to come out after that first kind of rough inning, shut everything down, get back control, and get the momentum back on your side.
Danielle Watson has largely been on cruise control, save for a base hit by the catcher Cheyenne Sayles to lead off the second inning. Galloway, one of the two freshmen up the middle, at least for now, for the Owls. It's quickly 0-2. A number of these players on this Kennesaw State roster from suburbs around the Atlanta area. Galloway, one of those, originally from Smyrna, Georgia.
Watson has done a great job today of getting ahead in the count. Yesterday, she kind of struggled with getting behind, let the nerves take hold of her a little bit, but today she is in control and she is pounding the zone.
Handful of all-region honors around that Atlanta metro area for Galloway as she comes up empty for strike 3.
Coming to the plate, number 1, Madison Miller.
Watson going in with that screwball, just nasty spin movement, getting her on strike 3.
Right back to it for strike 1. Madison Miller, another freshman, so they've got a couple of freshmen at the bottom of the order. She's from Jefferson, Georgia. And she's quickly 0-2. Has a ton of speed if she can make her way aboard. Stolen base record holder. Also the school record holder back in high school at Jackson County High in the 400 meter. No surprise they've got her covering a lot of ground out in the outfield. We'll see if she can put something down and race down the line. Instead, it's another strikeout. 2 in this inning for Danielle Watson.
And if you notice, the previous pitch before this strikeout was almost the exact same. The only difference was the previous one was a little bit further off the plate. So what does Watson do? She throws the same pitch and says, hey, I know you want this, so I'm going to throw it again. And guess what? She was right, and she gets the strikeout.
2 2/3 innings of work, but 1 hit given up, 3 strikeouts now. As we make our way back to the top of the lineup, and Mary Gregg Anderson, who started this game off with a strikeout. From Athens, Alabama. Originally enrolled at Alabama, was used predominantly there by Patrick Murphy as a pinch runner. Quickly 0-2 to Anderson, the right fielder, leading off for Kennesaw State. Just caught a piece to stay alive. It remains 0-2. Anderson just trying to find a pitch she can barrel up, spoiling a couple, trying to dig her feet in here, down 0-2.
A nice miss by Watson. Did exactly what I was hoping she would do. You want to get that ball just a little bit further off the plate. So she was going up and away. She decided to just go away this time to try and entice the swing. It was a beautiful pitch, but Anderson just stayed strong.
K-time chance. They got what they were looking for. And Watson had 3 in the inning. 4 total today. 1, 2, 3 once more. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout.
Danielle Watson striking out the side, using that nasty screw rise movement that she has. Her spin, her speed is everything, and she's killing it.
Seminoles are huddled up in the home dugout, and at the center of it all, you see Coach Lonnie Alameda and Danielle Watson.
So that's a pitcher-catcher meeting. We actually started that last season because we wanted everyone to know what was going on. Used to, Coach Alameda would just come and talk with the individual pitcher and catcher in the game. But we decided as a staff, we want everyone to know. We want everyone to be able to learn from each situation. So it became a whole battery type meeting.
That's the voice of 2021 Women's College World Series participant Kaylin Arnold. I'm Sean Davison. Emily Peters, the third member of our team here in Tallahassee this afternoon. Back to the top of the order for Florida State. This starts their second trip. Janai Kerr, the center fielder, grounded out in the first. Laid off the off speed. Ground ball again to second again, and Kerr is retired again. The player who was a double short of a cycle in game 1 has 2 ground outs here against Kennesaw State.
I think that just demonstrates the talent of Melanie Bennett. She's doing such a good job of really controlling these power hitters in Florida State's lineup.
Couldn't agree more. Here's Kaylee Mudge. Showing bunt. Sayles on top of it, but Mudge has so much speed down the line. She beat the throw to the bag.
Next up, number 13.
Mudge sneaks around, and you can't get much better than that. Just getting that bunt right there on the plate, and they were not ready for her and for her speed, and so she was safe at first.
Galloway came over from second to try to get her out, but she was already there before the ball got to Galloway. Ground ball now up the middle, a slow roller off the bat of Leonard. And here's Mudge looking for third underneath the tag, and on the throw there, Leonard slides into second.
What an amazing heads-up base running by Kaylee Mudge. She sees where the ball's going, and she knows that she's got the speed to be able to get an extra bag, and she does. Here, Mack getting that ground ball that just gets under Bennett's glove and just past the shortstop, and Kaylee Mudge sees her opportunity and she takes it.
Runners in scoring position now for Kaylee Harding. Off speed, drifting out to left field. Mudge will tag, throw coming home. And now the throw back to third, doesn't get Leonard either. Score Mudge, move Leonard over.
Now batting, number 24.
That's a really great team at bat by Harding. Even though she doesn't get the solid hit, she gets the pop up to left field. She's able to get Mudge to home and Leonard to third, and that's all you can ask for from your teammate.
4 hits for the Seminoles, scratching across runs here through the first 3 innings. Now Melanie Bennett squares off with Sydney Sherrill. On the ground to second. Galloway plenty of time, but I believe that was fouled off of Sherrill's ankle or foot, so she'll get another crack at this here.
It's right off the end of her foot, I believe, and that does not feel good.
Breaking pitch came in on Sherrill there to make it 2-1. Did reach on a fielder's choice to second. That's how Florida State scored their first run. So credited with the RBI on that account. And now she stares at a 3-1. Make it full. Has walked 4 times to this point, so has only 7 official at-bats through the first 3 games. This one's popped up. Cates underneath it. And that'll end the bottom of the third. Another run scratches across for the Seminoles. They lead it 2-0. Back here in Tallahassee, where as we head into the 4th inning, it's time to either enjoy an ice cube or enjoy a conversation with Florida State's head coach Lonnie Alameda, who happens to be standing by with Emily Peters.
Thank you, Sean. Coach, looking at Danielle stepping back into the circle, what can you say about her performance this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, she's throwing it well. She's attacking the zone. Of course, first day out, you're a little nervous, you know, so she's like got her nerves underneath her. And Kennesaw's a good swinging team, and they're taking their hack, so we got a lot of pitches to execute next, but she's doing a great job right now.
And following on that, this is the last game of the weekend. How do you close this one out?
I mean, just, again, pitch by pitch. I think we're putting some good swings on things right now. It's got to get to have some more at-bats here and, it's playing good defense.
Well, best of luck. Thank you so much.
All right, Emily, thank you so much. As we get set to get back to the action, Danielle Watson waiting in the wings, ready to get underway once again here at the Seminole Softball Complex. 2 runs for Florida State, one off of a fielder's choice, another one off of a sac fly. Knowles scratching together some hits, putting across some runs. Kind of reminiscent of the way the offense worked a season ago. We saw the power surge in game 1 here today, kind of like we did yesterday. And now Florida State finding ways to score. And you know what? As long as a little notch goes up in the run column, you'll take it.
Exactly. Like I said, all that matters is that you're giving everything that you have to your team at the end of the day. And it doesn't matter how you win. It doesn't matter if it's pretty or if it's ugly. But if you're giving everything you have, that's all you can do. And
that's actually the moniker here. It's one of the many different monikers and slogans and mottos. But that's the big one that really carries over from year to year to year. Give your all to the team every day. And there's an actual gate by the field that Lonnie Alameda defers to the seniors to decorate however they choose.
Definitely. Gate is so important to this program, and it's something that every freshman is introduced to right away. Give your all to the team every day, and the minute that you step through the gate at Joanne Graff Field, everything else disappears. Nothing else matters except what you're about to do on the softball field and your teammates.
And that methodology has allowed this program to do things like win a 2018 national championship and surprise a whole lot of people. Maybe not outside, maybe not inside of Tallahassee, I should say, but a whole lot of people outside of Tallahassee, the experts who thought, man, maybe this Florida State team isn't necessarily built for a run like this. Not only did they prove they proved they were darn near built to win an entire national championship and dethrone a team that everybody thought was the heir apparent.
And honestly, it's almost better, in my opinion, to be that type of team, to be the underdog, be the one that nobody expects to do the big things, because it allows you to just play free and take all that pressure away, because you're not expected to come out and hit big home runs or to come out and make these amazing plays. And when you do it, it just makes the game that much more fun.
And there you see the banner here for the national runner-up run. Sydney Sherrill with yet another Defensive Player of the Year honor in the ACC. And Danielle Watson looking for a 5th strikeout, came in with the screw to make it full. This is the freshman Hardiman battling away, doing a good job, taking a look at a few pitches, making Watson work here a little bit. She's been able to work largely efficiently through the first 3 innings, hasn't really gone that deep into the pitch count all that often.
This is true. Danielle has done a really great job this game so far of getting ahead in the count, really just shutting it down quick, getting those strikeouts early.
So credit the freshman Hardiman for continuing to battle away here. She spoils that one, it remains full. There's that grittiness, that competitiveness that just lets rear back and play and have fun type of style that Trip McKay is trying to encourage this young squad with some select veterans to adopt. Another 3-2, and another one fouled off. A quality plate appearance for Hardiman, regardless of how this one wraps up. Emily Perrin looking on from the visitors' dugout.
As a pitcher, these type of at-bats are always so frustrating because you just want to get it over with. You just want to get the strikeout or get the ground out or whatever your goal is, or a walk. In terms of being a teammate for the hitter, that's what you want to see. You want to see that you just battled and battled and battled, and now you get rewarded either with the hit or with the walk, and that's exactly what she got.
Saw 9 pitches in total, did Hardiman. So that is a quality plate appearance and another leadoff aboard. That happened in the first for the Owls. Excuse me, that happened in the second for the Owls with Cheyenne Sayles. And Cates just ripped that one right into the fencing, right by her dugout. Power on full display there, but got a little crossed up. Popped out her first trip to the plate. She's off to a good start. 7 official at-bats to this point, 3 hits in those 7 at-bats. So limited sample size, but batting .429 to start the year to this point. And off goes Hardiman. Ball got behind Edenfield, and she's back on top of it.
However, it was a strike for Watson, so she was able to get ahead of the count against a very good hitter in Cates.
Leave the runner into scoring position, but the 0-2 count here to Cates. This would be the ideal hitter if you're Trip McKay to see at the plate with the tying run aboard. One swing of the bat could knock this thing up real quick. And this is the player who can do it. Caught a piece of it. Cheryl gloves it and records the out at first. Nice job of looking off Hardiman so it strands her at second, or I should say holds her at second for the moment. And that is a big, big thing.
That ground ball, it's exactly where you want it to go to Sydney Sherrill. It's going to be an automatic out. Getting it into the area 24, like we've talked about, is pretty deadly and dangerous for any hitter.
And now Coach Lonnie Alameda making a way out to the circle. And some young fans making their way into the Plex. And again, now with 1 out on the board, Sydney Sherrill looking at Hardiman, looking her off, holding her at second is huge, because if she does advance to third on the throw to first, now a sac fly, a well-placed ground ball, any number of different things, a squeeze can score Hardiman.
Yeah, definitely. Sydney gave her that stare down, told her, hey, better not move, better not run, or I'm going to get you out. And then she turns and throws it to first.
Showed that banner for a reason. Defensive Player of the Year 3 times over. Big swing and a miss by the catcher, Cheyenne Sayles.
It's a beautiful rise ball by Watson. Got great spin on it, great late break, and just gets it right over the top of the bat. Really great miss by Watson. I really love how she went way up in the zone with that rise ball and then came back down, trying to set up Sayles for this next pitch.
Sayles has walked a couple of times, so only 6 at-bats. 2 hits in those 6 at-bats. Has her early season batting average of .333. Big swing and a miss evens the count. And here comes the K-time chance from the Florida State faithful. Sayles, a player who struck out 37 times a season ago, compared to 10 walks. The early walks bode well for her. No strikeouts yet on this year. But there's the first.
Watson comes in with that screw rise, just barely getting over the top of the bat, but that's all you need is just that inch to miss the barrel, and it's a beautiful pitch.
Harding on at second now with 2 outs and 5 strikeouts for Danielle Watson. Renaya Bailey, the first baseman, fouled out in her first plate appearance.
It's so fun watching pitchers like Watson because all of these pitches that she's throwing, all of these upspin pitches are just variations of each other. So she's able to go way up in the zone with that high rise, middle of the zone with her low rise, and then able to go with a rise screwball that just breaks right out of the zone. And it's so fun to watch as a pitcher and someone who really loves the dynamics and mechanics of pitching.
Not to mention, I'm going to beat you to this. She's also bringing the high pony energy today.
Wow.
We are now tied.
You got me. High pony energy from Danielle Watson always. She brings it. She's icy. She's fierce with that high pony. Yeah, I'm so mad too. I didn't even think about it.
One-two count, looking for another strikeout. It would be her 6th. Got it. Down goes Renaya Bailey, and the Seminoles head back to the dugout with a 2-0 lead over the visiting KSU Owls. We'll chat with their head coach, Trip McKay, when we come back. Welcome back to Tallahassee, the capital city of the Sunshine State. We wish it was that sunny here today, but we're still getting plenty of softball in. Florida State, the 6th-ranked Seminoles leading Kennesaw State 2-0. Emily Peters is standing by with the KSU head coach, Trip McKay. Emily?
Thank you, Sean. Coach, you told me before this game you wanted to see your team really start settling in and get comfortable in the field. How do you assess their performance so far?
A lot better than yesterday. I think the first game jitters yesterday really showed. Today during warm-up they were having fun, being loose. So it's a lot different today. It's a good atmosphere.
And I sort of noticed you talking to your batters in that last inning. What was the message there?
Just kind of shorten up, getting a little big in the swing. You know, got a lot of velocity out there, so they're just trying to catch up. And it's just trying to get them on time and getting the barrel on the ball.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Emily, and thank you so much as we get set to resume the action here in the bottom of the 4th. Florida State will try to add to their 2-0 lead over Kennesaw State. 6, 7, 8 due up here with Edenfield, Flaherty, and Bethany Keane. Big swing and a miss from Edenfield. Might drop in the middle of 3 different defenders. Indeed, it does. Nice piece of hitting for the catcher.
Edenfield is so strong. Even though the ball was hit off the end of the bat, she was still able to muscle it over second base and allowing it to drop right there in that open space where nobody was.
It looks like Amaya Ross will check in to pinch run for Edenfield. And indeed she will. More speed on display. The Seminoles feel this player could be their fastest ever in program history. And when recent memory harkens the likes of Deja Bush and Callie Harrod and Morgan Claveman, to make that kind of statement about this young player really says a whole heck of a lot. Devin Flaherty packs plenty of speed as well. She's also been seeing the ball well to start this season. 5 hits, 8 at-bats, has yet to strike out, multiple doubles, stretched 1 into a triple, and has also been rock solid defensively at second.
Yes, Devin Flaherty is a big part of Florida State's speed game. Like we talked about, just her ability to run the bases is just astounding to me. She's able to turn, singles into doubles and doubles into triples and steal bases, and she's really, really good at it.
Lays off the upstairs pitch to make it 1-2. And the drop misses to make it 2-2. Rolled over on it. Bailey has nowhere to go with it, and both Ross and Flaherty are safe.
That's got to be a miscommunication right there between first and second base. But like Coach McKay talked about earlier, he has so many girls out of place right now just trying to figure it out and learn. And so they'll get better as the season goes on, but right now they're going to go through a few struggles.
Melanie Bennett, again, you can see the frustration. It's natural to be frustrated, but she's going to want to shrug that off quickly, because the reality is you're still very much in this as that ball looks good but does peel foul. Maya Ross on at second, and Devin Flaherty now on at first. Ruled a single for Flaherty. And so here's Bethany Keane. Lined out to short in the second. Well hit ball, too. Got the off speed for the strike.
Great off-speed pitch by Melanie Bennett. She stays through it, and it lands perfectly right above the knee of Keane.
Up the middle and through. Ross turns on the afterburner. She scores easily. Runners on the corners with Flaherty advancing to third.
Now in the box, number 5, Brooke Blankenship.
Keane does a great job of getting on plane with that rise ball, getting on top of it, and hitting a really hard ground ball. And like I said, their middle infielders are out of place for Kennesaw State. They're not used to being there, so it's going to take them a little bit of time before they really get the feel for it.
Hey, Bob, what do you say?
7 hits now for the Seminoles. Make it 8. Another run scores. Flaherty comes in, and rounding her way to third is Bethany Keane. Kaylin, it is this afternoon, this evening, however you want to put it, this game against Kennesaw State. It's very apparent. The flash and the power that we've seen a couple of times this weekend, it's been neutralized by Bennett's ability to use spin and go off speed and really mix up her locations. However, Florida State has also really shown a mature approach and an ability to really just do what's necessary and hit the ball to all fields.
I couldn't agree more.
It really has been a clinic by the Seminoles here to just do what you can with what you're given.
Now up, number 4, Danae Kerr.
6 different Noles have a hit in this game. 6 of them. And here's Janai Kerr. And she could perhaps have one as well, and she will. got over the glove of Cates. That will score another run for the Seminoles, and it's all starting to come together offensively.
It's a great job by Kerr. Really just situational hitting is what we would call that. She hits a hard chopper right over the head of the infield and is able to score a runner from third.
And I will also say, for Hardiman, the freshman shortstop, good decision to hang on to that ball. You're deep in the 5-6 hole. You're not going to accomplish anything by trying to rifle a throw at first. If anything, you're only going to make a mistake, and another run's going to score. Bennett going back to first. Mudge got around the tag. Bailey wasn't covering the bag.
Right there again, that's miscommunication between Kennesaw State. She's got to know that that ball is basically hit right back to Bennett. So first base has got to be able to get back to the bag and not try to field it, which is what she tried to do. You can see the frustration in Bennett because she knows.
As a pitcher, your heart goes out to her because she's pitching well.
That's what she is. She's pitching super well, and I feel for her because I've definitely been in similar situations, and it's really hard to focus on the next pitch when you're doing your job as a pitcher, and she is. She's getting these easy ground balls. She's getting pop-ups, little flares, and it's just not turning out right for her, and it is frustrating.
And it really has come to a head in this particular inning. The Noles are just nickel and diming, ham and egging, however you want to put it here in this particular inning. And now they've got a crooked number on the board. There are still no outs. Everybody is safe. And the hits just keep on coming. Autumn Belvi has checked in to pinch run at second for Janai Kerr.
Number 14, Autumn Belvi.
And Mack Leonard steps up to the plate.
Mack Leonard is the player that you want at the plate right now in this situation. No outs, bases loaded. You know the pitcher's frustrated. You want to capitalize right here.
Ball down in the dirt. Sayles stays on top of it. Runners all hold.
And that's another thing that Bennett is battling through is the rain. She's got to be able to throw her spin pitches the way that she normally does with a wet ball.
Kaylin, I just checked to make sure that my tally was correct. 6 hits for the Seminoles in this inning. 6.
That's a pretty great stat.
Everybody who's come to the plate for the Noles has recorded a single. Two and one to Leonard, who has 2 singles to her credit. And now she has a third. Multiple runners will come in. Mudge will advance to third, and the Noles lead continues to swell.
Mack Leonard comes up to the plate and is able to get on top of a low and inside pitch and just drive it right past first base and able to score a single or get a single and score 2 runs.
Number 1, Kaylee Harding.
And now the Seminoles are starting to bring in some substitutions. Hallie Waycaser, who started earlier against Loyola Chicago, made her first career start, in fact, now steps up to the plate with runners aboard. First pitch swinging, a mile high out to center field. This will be the first out of the inning for the Owls, but it's still good enough to plate Mudge. A sac fly for Waycaser.
The team softball right now that we're seeing from the Seminoles is just awesome. It's such a we over me mentality right now, and you love to see that early in the season. That lets you know that you have an unselfish team.
And so now here's Sydney Sherrill. First pitch strike. Sherrill eager for her opportunity to be sure. Has lifted that ball to left center field, and there's a timely hit for Sydney Sherrill. The larger point I was about to make, Kaylin, she had a couple of hits coming into this at-bat. One of those was the very first time she stepped up to the plate. So it's been a little while for Sydney Sherrill, and certainly she was looking forward to getting off that streak and getting on base via a hit. Welcome back to Tallahassee on the ACC Network Extra. Emily Perrin gets the call to transfer into the program from Florida Southwestern College. Junior from Winder, Georgia, another one of those suburbs around the Atlanta area. And Kaylin, you and I were both particularly impressed with how she came in yesterday after the Lindsay Kite hand situation. And she did a very nice job. New role, new level of softball, and she kept Florida State largely off balance. The occasional hit, the occasional run, but Kennesaw State was very much in it until the end.
She did. Perrin very much impressed me. She was able to locate her balls perfectly. She was jamming people, getting people on the ends of the bat. She was also effectively using her off-speed pitch to throw the batters off balance a little bit, so I was impressed by her.
So she will try to close out this fourth inning where the Noles have just, it's been death by a million paper cuts for Kennesaw State and a whole bunch of singles on behalf of the Seminoles who've just strung them together. The first seven actually, that Florida State sent to the plate, all recorded singles in this inning. Some of that from Bennett, others of that due to some infield work. There's another single for Edenfield. Another run will score. Muffley gets back. She's safe at second. And really at this point in time, Florida State's just seeing the ball really well right now.
Number 28,
Chloe Culp got the start against Loyola Chicago as the Noles DP packs plenty of power. Try to say that 3 times straight. Real quick. Good luck to you. And now she steps in to pinch hit. Took ball 1. And so, Kaylin, I want to come back to Coach Alameda's intangibles that she was looking for, because at this point in time, barring anything crazy, and we've seen crazy comebacks in softball, we don't want to rule that possibility out. You're going to get your 4 wins this weekend that she didn't want to necessarily say she was looking for. She was looking for the intangibles. Play free, build confidence, communicate, be aggressive. And when you get results like this, as cool as the home runs are, but when everybody top to bottom is seeing the ball well, when Danielle Watson is dominating in the circle, and Kat Sandercock is being Kat, and Emma Wilson's coming in and pitching well as well, you're building that confidence and that chemistry, and you've got some big-time matchups ahead. So it's all really, they're checking all the boxes right now.
Correct. As a coaching staff, Florida State Seminoles coaching staff has to be so proud of what they've seen from their girls this weekend. Like you said, they've checked off all the boxes. You've seen the confidence, you've seen the communication, you've seen the aggressiveness, and it's really exciting for this program moving forward.
They can win games in a variety of different ways, and I think that's, to me, the most interesting thing. We've seen them scratch them out with pitching and defense. We've seen the long ball, and we've seen this where it might be a wide margin at the end, but it really didn't have the 1 or 2 big flies. It was a little bit of everything.
Correct. Exactly.
There's Travis Wilson, who for years has worked with the hitters and has done a tremendous job. Troy Cameron has come in for the last several years and aided in those efforts. And so when you mention that these guys have to be proud of what they're seeing, those are the 2. Plus, of course, Coach Lonnie Alameda, Kaylee Rafter joining as a volunteer assistant. Every single one of them will be plenty pleased at what they've seen. And there's Kaylee Rafter looking on at first. And what a luxury it is to bring somebody back who's played for the program, has played on some of softball's biggest stages, will now be the head coach of Team Canada in international competition, and to have that as your volunteer coach. Change up high.
Yes, the Florida State Seminole program is so fortunate to have so much wisdom, so much knowledge, so much experience in their coaching staff coming from all over the country, like we've talked about, international, on so many different levels.
Bethany Keane has international junior softball experience on the junior national team a number of years ago. She's had a good day, 1 for 2, looking for perhaps a walk or something more. 3-1 count to Keane. Called strike 2. She took a step toward first, and she'll come on back.
She's a little low in the zone. I could see how Keane might think that it's a ball, but this umpire has shown that he's consistently likes the ball low in the zone.
Well hit, out to the wall, off the top of it, and the scoring run will continue. A 2 RBI double for Bethany Keane. She's 2 for 3, and the Noles have hit full song in the 4th.
That ball just inches away from going over the wall. You can see Bethany Keane just absolutely rips it and sends it, and she thinks it's over. Most of the crowd thinks that it's over as well. Just a little bit higher and it would have been over.
And so now back to the bottom of the order we go. And Brooke Blankenship. Recorded a single into right field. Her first trip to the plate in this inning. Flied out to right in the second. Second inning, not second trip, I should clarify. As the rain continues to pick up, we're seeing some more of those umbrellas. And that one slipped up and in and caught Blankenship. A hit by pitch to the freshman shortstop.
Unfortunately, hippo pitches are things that tend to happen. Luckily enough, she had an Evo shield on, so she wasn't injured too much, but especially when it's raining, it's hard to keep control of those spin pitches.
And here's a pinch hitter in Autumn Belvine. We saw her come in to pinch run. Now she'll take some cuts. Tried to hold up the swing on the off-speed pitch, but did come forward, according to our third base umpire, Matt Dial. Caught a piece of it and fouled it back. It'll go 1-2 to Belvine, who prior to coming to Florida State, where she redshirted last year, was the Tennessee Softball Player of the Year as a junior. Was named to the Tennessee State Tournament first team the year prior to that. She continues to battle Perrin. 2 outs on the board and a 1-2 count. Perrin looking to close out what has been a disastrous bottom of the 4th for Kennesaw State. And the reality of that compounded by the fact that with the run rule in effect, the snowball effect here in the bottom of the 4th carries over to the top of the 5th, where you need at least 3 runs just to keep playing. Called for the strikeout. That's how this inning will end. But what an inning it was for the Seminoles. A multitude of singles and an 11-0 lead. Great softball weekend here in Florida's capital city of Tallahassee, as the Seminoles run in their season opening Joanne Graff Classic is about to conclude with an 11-0 lead over Kennesaw State going in to the 5th inning. Hi there, welcome back up inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Sean Davison alongside Kaylin Arnold. And as big as it is to have softball back this weekend, there is another big game happening this weekend. Kaylin, what are you feeling?
Super Bowl, gotta go with the Bengals. I'm a big Joe Burrow fan ever since his days at LSU, so I gotta support the Bengals.
My heart says Bengals, my head says Rams. Today, I'll go with my head, I'll go Rams. Emily, who do you got? Who do you have?
Sean, I'm with you. I'm a little conflicted here because I've got my turtleneck and my chain, so I'm rocking the Joe Burrow look, but I also have to go with my head on this one and say the Rams.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see how that all shakes out here over the next couple of days, but we know this much to be true. This much aside from football, we certainly have had a really good time here this weekend, and a lot of that due to the quality of the play that we have seen here over the course of our air over the last couple of days, Kaylin, not the least of which Catherine Sandercock has been responsible for. She comes in now to relieve Danielle Watson after Watson had another terrific start. 4 innings of work, only 1 more hit given up. Only 2 hits given up on the weekend by Danielle Watson. 6 more strikeouts for Watson as well.
Watson did a phenomenal job today. She came out, she gave them everything that she had, and she did great. Her movement was awesome, her speed was there, and you couldn't ask for anything better from your pitcher.
Couple of big cuts by Katie Greep, who we've seen make a couple of really strong plays out in the outfield. She's the starting center fielder for the Owls, but quickly falls behind 0-2.
What I love so much about the Florida State pitching staff is, and within Watson and Kat, you have completely different pitching styles. Danielle, this whole game was going up, 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 screw with that upspin, and Kat is going to go down, down, down with that drop ball. Same speed, pretty consistent, but the movement is total opposite, so they complement each other very well.
Up and away with the rise ball that she has been developing over the course of the last year and change. And down goes Greep. The Seminoles move 1 out closer to another run rule victory. They already have one this weekend, and while we bring up another hitter in Kiera Cooper, I just want to take a second to give a big thank you to our crew. Back to softball this weekend, and it takes a village to put these shows on. They've done a terrific job for years and years on end. Today, certainly no exception as we battle the elements. They've made votes too, and I hate to break it to you, Kaylin, a lot of folks going with the Rams on our crew, 16-9. I don't think any of us, however, have named a dog after our quarterback, though. So unless there's any Staffords on the crew, I think you might have the only Burrow. So You do have that on us.
I do. I told you I'm a huge fan. Right before the pandemic happened, I got a dog, named him Burrow because I was a huge Joe Burrow fan, and I think it's a pretty cool name. There he is. He's adorable. He's super excited. He thinks the Bengals are going to win too, and that's all that really matters.
You know what? After some of the wins that the Bengals have pulled together over the course of the postseason, there's a lot of people who think that.
Yep.
So you guys are not alone. I mean, I have to say, I've got a dog too. I've got a pit bull named Jake, and pit bulls are technically American Staffordshire Terriers.
There you go.
So maybe, just maybe, it was written in the stars there.
Maybe.
I
will
don't
say,
know.
My other dog at home is 24% American Staffordshire Terrier, so it's
So you've got
B.
So you've got both quarterbacks.
I do.
Represented with paws in your household. Gotcha. Play is to first. Cooper advances into scoring position, but the Noles are now 1 out away. What do we need to do to get a bark at the park day here?
I
The
don't
more
know.
dogs, the better.
I know. I completely agree with that. I'm going to have a talk with Coach Alameda and say, hey, we got to get on this. We got to get the dogs in here.
For sure. For sure. It has been an ultra competitive day as the Seminoles and the Owls have really, it's a game that doesn't look like it's as close as it was for the majority of this game. A snowball effect in the bottom of the fourth, a whole bunch of singles, death by a million paper cuts, but really it was well played. And Melanie Bennett, just to come back to her, I thought did a really nice job for the majority of her outing today.
She did. There's nothing for her to hang her head on. She really gave everything that she could. She had good movement and good speed, and you know, like you said, it was just the little things that got away from the team, a little bit of inexperience and struggles, but that's expected at the beginning of the season.
Speaking of relative inexperience, new catcher for the Seminoles is a freshman in Katie Bright. She comes out to have a word with Sandercock. Infield comes in as well. And so while they chat, Kaylin, I just want to come back to you. And we've talked about how Florida State's hit all of those proverbial check marks on all of the intangibles that Coach Alameda wanted to see them accomplish. What does this do heading into South Alabama? What do you want to see this team do next?
I want to see this continuous power. I want to see us go out against South Alabama and just continue to bring the heat on the mound and from the batter's box. Continue with this awesome defense that we've had so far. The communication, the aggressiveness, like Coach Alameda has talked about wanting to see from her team. And I think continuance to stay free. That's what they've been doing this whole opening weekend, in my opinion, is they've just played free and they've had fun doing it.
That matchup will be on ACC Network on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And as Cat Sandercock fans, Madison Miller, we are perhaps just one pitch away from the conclusion of at least our games on our air at the Joanne Graff Classic. Kennesaw State, Loyola, Mercer, they'll all play each other a little bit continuing on. But that will do it for the Seminoles. They've checkmarked all the boxes, and those wins that Coach Alameda said would be nice, but she wasn't expecting, she got them all.
So happy for the Seminoles to come out opening weekend and dominate. Super excited as well for Kennesaw State. I think that they played great games this weekend. They've got a lot to improve on. Same thing with Florida State and with Loyola. Everybody came out, had a great time. I'm so glad that softball is back.
11 runs off of 14 hits. This is going to be a showing that I think is going to raise a few eyebrows, and when you combine that with what Virginia Tech and Duke are doing right now especially, there's going to be a lot of added attention on the ACC.
Definitely. The ACC power is strong this year, and it's exciting to see that from the conference rising up, hopefully to match the power of the SEC.
Keep an eye on Clemson as well. Also keep an eye on Danielle Watson, who is today's player of the game, and she is standing by down below with Emily Peters. Emily?
Yeah, Sean, it was no question down here with Danielle. What a performance from your team, but from you specifically, how do you assess your performance?
Yeah, I think we just keep taking everything one game at a time, and or one pitch at a time, one game at a time too. I think the hitters are just staying really engaged with each pitch, and we're just all in for each other, which is just so fun. And I think this was a really fun weekend and a really good way to kick us off.
And what sort of confidence does this give your team? You know, we saw a lot of depth off the bench. What does that do for kind of the new members?
Yeah, everyone is just so ready to play. Everyone's ready to step into whatever role that they're ready for, and I think that's so important that everyone just loves being here, and we just love supporting each other.
And now looking ahead, you're traveling down south to St. Pete. What can we expect for, you know, your recovery and getting ready for that?
Yeah, I think just looking at some film, seeing what we were this weekend, and trying to take the good stuff with us, and maybe even out some kinks. But other than that, I think we're ready, and we've trained for this. We're ready, and I think we're just ready to show everyone what we've got.
Well, I won't keep them any longer then. Congratulations, Danielle. Back to you, Sean.
All right, thank you so much, Emily, for all of your hard work down there. Kaylin, what a weekend for Florida State.
It's been so fun.